Hey everyone, this is Erica Sabo. Welcome to another episode of My Bit. Hey everyone, I hope you are well. Today I wanted to talk about a really important issue that's been swirling around the internet, and that has to do with Google Plus and it being integrated into YouTube. Now, a lot of people don't like this, and I kind of want to evaluate what's good about it, what's not so good about it, and how it affects the comment system. Now, this Google Plus integration is something that has been widely discussed on the interwebs already. I mean, it has to do with positive intentions but negative repercussions, and something that I understand needs to be helped, especially in terms of trolls and negative people just creating a negative vibe on people's channels and tearing apart people's channels. I understand how we might want to control that, and there has to be a sense of control. And how can you control something when everyone is anonymous, right? So the fact that Google and YouTube decided to team up in order to remove a bit of, like, a little bit of the skin of this anonymous state is something that I personally think was a necessary act. I think that, yes, we're always going to have trolls on the internet, and it's something we have to face, but there's a certain extent where it really does negatively affect people. It affects their self-esteem. It affects them in a really personal manner. I know I've had negative comments on my videos before, a good bunch of them actually, and it really did negatively affect me, and it did make me feel like crap. And I don't want others to feel that way, and obviously you take it all with a grain of salt, but it gets pretty extreme. It gets pretty extreme sometimes. So I understand why there is this Google Plus integration where you have to use your real name, or you have a choice to use your real name depending. At the same time, this integration also helps with just having a more immersive, a more dynamic experience with your commenters as well. Before, I had to find time commenting, replying back to everybody, but here it's a lot, I don't know, it feels a lot easier, it feels a lot more seamless. I think that it is much more immersive, personally. I feel like there is much more opportunity for discussion, and I feel like on my videos I have been getting a lot more traffic because of it, because when you comment, then you are sharing, and it branches out further than it would have usually. The same goes for when you're leaving a comment in someone's feed, just on their channel specifically, not on a particular video. So whereas like before, I wasn't able to see when people replied to something where I said like, hey, thanks for subbing, or, I really like your channel, we should team up, or something like that. I didn't see people's replies, but I do now. So that's really awesome, because I always wanted to be able to see what people said on feeds that I couldn't see before. I think that in terms of social media, I love using social media to my advantage. It's by no means is it like a blast promotion, but it's something that I use to my advantage because of my presence I already have, and I think it's something more people need to learn to use, and they need to realize that social media isn't just for social, it can be for promotion as well. Now, obviously, the negative repercussions have to do with the public. Anything that has to do with the public, you're gonna have this problem. And we've had it in the past with Facebook, we've had it with plenty of other websites like this. And it's always controversial. It's always controversial because it always places us one step closer to becoming more public. And not everybody wants that. Some people want and relish that anonymous state, especially on a place like YouTube, where anybody can be anonymous. On Facebook, not so much, but that had to do more with like privacy settings and things like that. Here, it really is. It's like saying, hey, let's make everyone public on Reddit or on 4chan. That's not everyone is going to be very happy with that. There's actually going to be a lot of radical opinions, because there are a lot of radical people on these sites. So I understand that. I understand how people want to stay anonymous. People don't want to be out in the limelight. They don't want you know, some negative light on their name. They don't want this to affect their job. They don't want this to affect them personally. It could affect them if they have, you know, some negative person in their life, or a stalker, or anybody like that. Like, it can really, really, really affect them. So it's funny how this is meant to help certain people, but it's then hurting other people in the process. And this is something that always happens, and it's so hard when it comes to change. Is it's not just about us not taking change well, but it also has to do with our personal selves, and we have to make sacrifices. So if this helps one person, it might negatively affect another. And you have to kind of evaluate in your mind, what's it worth? You know, who is it helping more? Does it go either way? It will go either way. But if we keep things the way they are right now, then it will keep negatively affecting other people, and it will really hurt their channels. So it's a bit of give and take, and I think it's something that YouTube is really going to need to consider. There's already been big petitions on this, on the privacy and, you know, the anonymous nature of everybody who's on here. So it's not all just about the social media integration and how it's helping that, but it's also really negatively affecting people who want that privacy. So while I'm definitely for this change, I do think that it needs a bit more fine-tuning. It's definitely not perfect. By no means is it perfect, but I think it's a step in the right direction. I think that they are gonna need to think more about how this is gonna affect other people, and the kind of comments they leave, and just people themselves, and having that privacy. Nobody wants to be put in that sort of limelight, especially if it, you know, it then affects their reputation, etc., etc. You know, it can affect so many different things. But I do think that it's a step in the right direction. I think it needs some work. I think it's going to take a lot of time. But so far, as a YouTube creator, I do think that it has really helped me in terms of making videos. Context. It's all about context and who you are and what you're doing on the internet. So I'm really curious to know what you think about the Google Plus integration, and, you know, whether yay or nay. Please give me your reasons. Actually, don't just say, no, I hate it. Like, please tell me why you don't like it, why you do like it, and what things they can change in order to make it better. So please do that. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I'd love to talk with you more. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace.